I'm Brownfield anchor reporter Meagan Grebner, and with us today, Lucas Lentsch, the newly named CEO of the United Soybean Board, and Meagan Kaiser, a Missouri farmer and outgoing chair of the USB. Thank you both for taking some time to join us today.
Great to be with you.
Lucas, let's start first in a little bit about your background, and I'll give you some time to introduce yourself to soybean farmers from around the Midwest and soybean growing areas.
You bet. Well, first off, I'm just more than anything grateful to be here and starting this new role with United Soybean Board. My background, I'm a proud South Dakota farm kid. Grew up on a family dairy farm through my junior high and high school years. Studied agriculture at South Dakota State. Worked in food and beverage for a little while out of college. Was really fortunate. I was able to become a leader in the military as an officer that served in Operation Iraqi Freedom. Was very fortunate after coming back from that to learn the state of South Dakota, get involved in state government. Had a chance to serve as Secretary of Agriculture for all the farmers and ranchers and agribusinesses in South Dakota, and that was really a great career highlight. That led to me being at Midwest Dairy and Dairy Management Incorporated, which was basically the regional and national dairy checkoff. And so that's where I've been the last almost 8 years, and right before coming to United Soybean.
Talk to me a little bit about how you take that background with State Department of Agriculture, but then also working on the checkoff side for the dairy sector, and move forward to continue to push the envelope and grow the U.S. soybean industry.
Well, I think having that diversity of thought from government service to the private sector, and really into the quasi-governmental role of what checkoff is. Checkoff is the voice of the farmer. It is the one place that they can have access to the market, if you will, to really help drive demand for what they produce. And so the supply-demand relationship is continuously linked back to the farm gate, and that opportunity for value is also market access. When you think about our domestic market, we can't take anything for granted. There's over 1,000 products that soy is part of, but what the core big ones are animal agriculture, and I love that. We're part of the entire food supply chain discussion. Of course, human nutrition is a part of that, and more importantly, and one of my personal favorites, is energy independence.
Meagan, talk to me a little bit about how the USB board members came through and went through this process, and kind of the things that you were looking for in a new CEO.
Well, we have a 77-member board, which is a large board, and I don't know any counting really, but one of the first things that was very important to us was to enlist the ideas and the vision of every single board member, and also our staff. We have this incredible team that carries out the execution of our vision every day. And so we surveyed everybody to say, hey, what do you want in a leader? Some of the qualities that came up were a good communicator, somebody who is very responsive to board relations, has vision, but also it has a big focus on transparency and honoring what the farmers decide and what we want to invest in, and then executing that in a way that represents us well. And I think we've just exemplified just in Lucas's background as to why the search committee and the selection committee, it was a pretty rigorous interview process. We had at-large members interview via Zoom, our semifinalist round, and then our executive committee ultimately interviewed in person. And Lucas was just the obvious choice, and we're just really thrilled to have him on board.
When you look at that background and having the state ag experience, as well as really the military and the government experience, but then working with checkoffs and farmers, how does that make sure, or how does that put him in a good position to drive the checkoffs mission for soybean farmers moving forward?
Well, it's a really complex organization that we're in, because he is the CEO and will execute the mission of the organization. At the same time, listening to all of the farmers, bringing that farm perspective. It's helpful that all of your roots have been in agriculture, and understanding the farmers. You know, when you're raised by farmers, you tend to think in the back of your head, what would mom and dad say? And so that's helpful. But listening to farmers and really understanding what we bring to the board. One of the unique things that the United Soybean Board does is that all of our programming starts with farmers around the table saying, this is what we want to prioritize. We want to build this. And then our team, our staff says, okay, here's the options. Here's how we can fulfill the farmer vision. And that is how this organization is farmer-led and farmer-driven. And Lucas has exemplified that he respects that process and is excited to be a critical part of it.
Lucas, as you look at some of the goals that those farmer directors and farmers from around the country outlined, you also mentioned energy independence. How do you work and fight for positioning for soybean farmers in that biofuels energy independence category moving forward?
Well, we know there's a policy side of the house conversation, which is not check off. But that doesn't mean that we can't educate to the benefits of it and the research that goes into innovating the future products, the future fuels, if you will, that we're going to need in our society. You know, the sustainable soy solutions isn't just a catchphrase. It's a way of life. It's a way of thinking, and it's a part of how we think about our market. You know, our product to population, where the needs of society is where soybean farmers are going to want to be. And I think that innovation is going to continue to unfold and create opportunity. You know, you just can't sit back and expect your production just to go to where it's always gone. You have to continue to look to the future and follow the needs of society, wherever they may be, because we know 95% of the world lives someplace other than the United States, and we want to be there to support them.
When you look, and I know it's very fresh, right? But as you look ahead to the future, what are some of your goals and some of your priorities to grow demand for U.S. soybeans at home, domestically, and around the globe?
Well, I think one of the first and most important goals, and Megan touched on it, is listening to farmers. You know, I am a steward of their office. It maybe said differently, this isn't about me. This is about them. You know, I get the opportunity to be a part of a team and lead a team that is putting the work of their strategies into every day of the week and all throughout the year to deliver on the strategies that they are elevating as farmer leaders. You know, I think the future, though, you don't have to look any further than the quality of what we produce, maintaining the quality of what the soybean is, ensuring that the innovation pipeline it's ready for it. You know, beyond that, I think it's research. We can't walk away from research. We have to continue to look to the future, because those early ideas of research open up tomorrow's innovations that we have no idea what that might be.
Lucas, Megan, thank you so much for your time today. Any final thoughts before I let you go?
Well, just number one, thrilled. There's 500,000 growers out there producing soybeans, and number one, thank you for what you do for our society, but also our country. What you do is food security, and food security gives us our great nation's national security. It's very much linked. So thank you for what you do. I'm very proud to come to work for you and can't wait to get to work.
Lucas, Megan, thank you so much.
Thank you, Megan.
Thanks.
I'm Meagan Grebner for Brownfield.